Can't forget my Advent tea. Day 6. They should put these things in order, y'all. I don't get it. You can hear me good. Husband's taking a shower. I'm putting the last minute touches on this hair jewelry. I definitely love good hair jewelry, that's for sure. Trying to get out of here to go to Mexico. Anyway, I want to tell you about Krampus. I finished that and I thought it was pretty good. It's a fantasy horror type book with a lot of folklore that is involved in it, and I really did appreciate that. Now, Krampus is the Lord of Yule, which is, I guess, kind of like celebration of the winter solstice, and Krampus basically thinks that Santa is not this great being that everybody believes that he is, that he's actually very manipulative. So Krampus is actually on a quest in order to get Santa's magical sack because he does not believe that it belongs to him, and that's part of the folklore tale that you can read in the book. But he believes that he wants to bring Yuletide to the masses and have everybody revere him. And so he enlists the aid of this guy named Jesse, who is really down on his luck. His wife has left him and she's taken the kid. She hooked up with this old guy that really demasculates Jesse. And so Krampus works with Jesse in order to get the sack and to get people in the area, this is West Virginia, to believe in Yuletide. Now, what I think is really funny about Yule is that part of the tradition is that kids are to leave presents for Krampus on top of their shoes, and if not, then he's supposed to put them in a sack and beat them. So really interesting. But it was a good story. I really did enjoy it. I thought there was a lot of violence in this story. I was really shocked. There was one part with the guy that basically has Jesse's woman. There was one part where they were communicating, and there was something very interesting that was said. I can't really go into detail, but it was very shocking. I did feel that there was some parts of this story that were so sentimentally told that I almost felt sorry for a few of the characters, including Krampus. But I did enjoy this story. I thought it was fun and entertaining and shocking and gory. Check it out. Let me know if you do. Okay, well, I think I am all done now and gonna go to bed and see if I can catch this flight in the morning. See you on the flip side. On our way. Trying to get on the plane.
Just visiting. We wish you a pleasant stay. On behalf of your crew and everyone here on Team Frontier, thanks for traveling with us.
I thought. This hotel does not have a nightclub, so we are watching the FIFA World Cup, as you can see. Hopefully you can see that. Went to the Michael Jackson show earlier. It was a good time. I have some drinks and probably need to go to bed soon. Why take a cab when you can just take the bus? $1 US or 12 pesos gets you all around Cancun. Don't feed the iguanas. We just happened to run across it after coming from the Mayan El Rey ruins and did not bring bathing suits, but it is nice to just sit out. Cheers. Just enjoying a few drinks by the pool. Just finished the acrobat show, which was awesome. Folks worked really hard and really limber. Don't have any footage because we're too far away and they didn't really have a lot of seating. But it was a good show. Cheers, rum punch. Okay, I'm gearing up to go to the beach. I got my retractable, reusable straw. This is a must when you go to a beach destination or wherever. And this one's cool because it actually has its own little bitty case here. Bam, goes with me on every trip. Anyway, let me tell you about Secret Santa. So I finally finished that yesterday and it was actually really good. So that is hitting the mystery prompt for Holiday Havocathon. And it basically is about Lucy, who takes a job at a publishing company underneath some really odd circumstances that happens at the interview. And there is a Secret Santa going on. So she receives a present, don't know who it's from, underneath the Christmas tree, and it's some sort of mysterious occult type, I won't go into detail, but it's some sort of relic. And then all of a sudden these accidents start happening at the company. You know, somebody has a pen shoved up their nose, somebody falls, just a bunch of crazy stuff. And she finds out that these things have been happening since before she got to the company. So she starts realizing that there's something strange going on, and this is not exactly the dream job that she had expected it to be, and it could be quite dangerous. But I thought this book was really funny. It had just a bunch of oddball stuff. I was laughing throughout it, but it very much is rooted in history that you may find interesting, but really good book. And another book that I actually decided to pick up as an Audible last minute, and I finished it last night as well, is Parasite Paradise. Now this is a horror book. For Evil-a-thon, it is hitting the prompt sleigh bells, and this is a horror book about these group of just bad dudes in general. You know, they're basically murder acquisition people. You pay them, they go find what you need. So they're hired to go to this rich people resort type area in the future called Paradise, where pretty much, you know, you can get whatever you want. But they are hired to get a package, and somehow they spill the package, which is like these animals or some site parasites on them, and so they become infected, and then everybody else around them becomes infected. So mayhem ensues. It's almost like these zombie creatures. Just really gory. There's a lot of cussing. There's comedy as well, and it actually is kind of funny at times too, because you have a severed head that they use kind of as a lantern that reattaches itself to the body. Just really funny stuff. But I will say there was a lot of characters, so it was kind of hard to keep track. But once you got into the groove of it and didn't worry about who was who, then, you know, it actually was pretty good. And it was a quick read, so I really enjoyed that. So let me see what I will get into next. I think I'm going to pick up The Vessel. Stay tuned. I can't even see. Tastes good too. So it is about 8 o'clock at night, and I am waiting for the Mexican Fiesta show to start. And I'm on this really horrible, tiny, claustrophobic Juliet balcony, which I definitely do not like. But anyway, I'm gonna move past that. I got me a drink, definitely could use a refill, and I'm gonna get a few of those later. And I am reading The Vessel. Now, The Vessel's pretty decent thus far, but I'll say this. If you are allowing your child to babysit the client that you are supposed to be watching, then you deserve what you get while you're snooping around their house. Isn't that pretty? All the lights on the trees at the beach. tipped 100 Mexican dollars, right? And homegirl left me 6 Coronas. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. So definitely tip. Leave a few dollars inside of the refrigerator when you go out, and I'm telling you, they hook you up. Making the most of the last day here and reading my book. You think the birds are gonna attack these people? Well, last day, we are waiting to check out of the beautiful Cancun and go back to the airport to New Jersey where it's freezing. But let me tell you about some books. The Vessel. The Vessel is a gothic horror novel, and it was really suspenseful and a bit creepy, but I definitely thought more should have happened in the book. But in general, you have this lady named Jess who is running from her abusive ex-husband, and she's a single mother. So she takes a job at this hoarded mansion from this rich lady who has dementia, and she takes her daughter Izzy with her because she does not have a babysitter. Now at this mansion, this old lady, she's like hitting Jess and kind of beating her up at times, but she develops a really lovely friendship with Izzy, who's like 8 or something like that. And it just seems like some strange things are happening. Like Izzy is sleepwalking. This lady who's supposed to be in a wheelchair somehow is moving around the house, and it just seems like something weird is going on. And then there's some occult type stuff that you get wind of. Now, I thought this book was really interesting in that Jess comes into this house and she's like trying to clean up after this lady because the house is disgusting, but she's constantly being told, hey, leave things as is, this is what the lady wants. And Jess just doesn't seem like she cares about that. I mean, I understand she's trying to make the situation better for the lady's environment, but if that's how she wants to live, then you know what? Who are you to say that that's not right? So I think that when some of the scary stuff came up in the book, I felt like that Jess deserved it. But overall, I did like the book. I just was expecting something more sinister and crazy, and it just wasn't there. I did not like, though, that this book ended at about 89%. So I felt like I got gypped out of some pages, because after that it was the author talking about books turned into movies and researching and screenplays turned into books. I just felt that it was unnecessary. But if you are a fan of, what's this author's name, Adam Nevill, then I guess that's something relevant for you. And as part of Holiday Havoc-a-thon with the fantasy prompt, I have Nice and Naughty. Now this is a fantasy erotica book that's part of a series, but I only read this one book and it's short. But I did feel that it was more fantasy and sci-fi versus erotica. There was one part towards the back of the book, but I thought it was very, very tame. But basically, you have Santa that has recruited Rudolph through trickery to harness the power of old deities so that he can create Christmas and all the magic surrounding Christmas. But Rudolph, you know, feels tricked and can't really be this whole being that she once was because of this trickery that Santa has enacted. So it involves a lot of stuff with mythology. It jumps back and forth in time quite a lot, so you got to keep track of exactly where they're talking. You do have references to all the other reindeer as well as being deities that have been brought into this story. I guess they all get their own stories and, you know, other parts of this series. I will say though that the part that really kind of annoyed me is that all of these deities, you know, they kept complaining about wanting a man and about Rudolph or Rue needing to have a man and have companionship. So it was just a bit redundant, and I was just like, okay y'all, this is definitely overkill. But interesting story. I think that it's good if you're trying to maybe read the entire series, maybe you'll understand it a whole lot more. But I was just happy that it was short and I got it through. But definitely unique and worth checking out. Okay, so we need to pack.
I guess, and get it out of this room and check out. So I'll see you on the flip side in New Jersey. Bye, y'all.